that then courted me a V12. Avoid the phones if it's sounding like a seashell. Too much clicking in the connection. Connect the dots with my connect for my protection. Face to face, I place my like a drive-through. Feeling, you know how I do. Push.
I done seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life in the can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us. 7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phone.
Too many handle business on my own, cause you ain't right, and that's I don't condone. I got homies behind the wall wishing they was home. They got jammed up, kept discussing business on the phone. But Scotty, boy, we 200 bands off them $20 flips. I'm going by myself when it's time to up. That way police don't have a clue when turn up. I'm dolo when I'm out making different moves. Pull up to the shop just to pick and choose. I'm that, don't get confused, cause even when the prayed I didn't lose. Machine. I done seen the best of them jammed up.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the architectural wonder that is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down. Right at the 20.
Tuesday.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Coleman. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, Creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now Ryan on second down. He completes it to Julio Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
22! Tuesday.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On second down, Ryan. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Let's go. Hey, white. 22.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Flush to his right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So our initial drive of the night ends in 3 points. Maybe not exactly what this home crowd wanted, but they'll take the early lead.
They will take it. You're exactly right. Everybody wants a touchdown. But in this case, good opening drive, put points on the board. And a lot of coaches do believe the first team to score in the game, statistically, often ends up the winner.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return. So out come the Falcons now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
22.
From the shotgun, Ryan going for the deep ball. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And he's got Sanu. And mark him down all the way inside the Atlanta 20. A big play on 3rd down for the Falcons. 62 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. It's blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. This is Coleman. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
To throw on third down. Freeman. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to fourth down. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Hey, let's go.
On second down, here's Ryan. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Grady Jarrett coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons.
Hey, Tuesday. Wait. 5:25 tonight.
To throw is Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Justin Hardy deep for Atlanta. This will be taken at the 10. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
22. 20.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Try to lay one up. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by DeMonte Casey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brooks Reed in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Coleman. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects it.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards.
Hey, let's go. Got it, got it.
On first down, Ryan looking deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. Trying a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That good for 22 and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Time they were ready for him as he's taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
39.
He's going to get it running right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Get up!
He can run for it, and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan keeping it himself from 7 yards out, and the Falcons are in for 6. So on 3rd down, they dialed up the draw play. It worked. Got him in the end zone.
As one of our colleagues likes to say, calling the draw, everyone wants to yell all the time when the draw doesn't work, like what kind of play call was that? But it takes a little bit of fortitude to do that, and because you may catch them with the element of surprise and hit it, and in this case, they hit it for pay dirt.
Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Coleman now. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. On 3rd down, Ryan. He finds Coleman. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Tackle made by the 2nd-round pick, Isaiah Oliver.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Ryan. And Jones has it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there at 22. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Here's Coleman on the toss. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking to throw on second down. Ryan, the left side completion to Jones. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third down and 12. Ryan. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Vic Beasley. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And Bryant's kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Ryan on 1st down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
22! 22! 20! 20! Right! Let it go!
Play action. It's Ryan. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Kazin. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. After the interception, here's Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on 2nd down. Ryan into a double team, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, with that incompletion, let's look back, Charles, to the NFC title game. We had 2 excellent conference championship games, but on the NFC side, the Rams winning in overtime thanks to Greg Zuerlein. He had 2 huge kicks, but that was really overshadowed because afterwards, obviously, everyone talking about the no call.
Yeah, and we should be talking about Legatron, a 48-yarder to get them to overtime. The 57-yarder to win it in overtime. He should be the guy who should be exalted right now, but you're exactly right. Nickel Roby-Coleman's hit on Tommy Lee Lewis in regulation, When I saw it live, thought it was a bang-bang play. Turned out, it was definitely a missed call. Plus, they missed helmet-to-helmet contact on it as well. So if you're a Saints fan, you are very unexcited about the Rams advancing to the Super Bowl, but I still...
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 51 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Bryant's kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up. And we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he goes out right around the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Drops it off for Coleman. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Ryan. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was Desmond Trufant right there, step for step in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
That's something we have not seen him do to this point, and that's take the ball, tuck it, and run.
Exactly right. His first carry of the game. I guess he picked a good time to do it.
He certainly did. Not only did he have the element of surprise, he's making sure he's judicious in taking off.
Jones has it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Tackle made there by Robert Alford.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw on 3rd down, Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Falcons say they have it. They do. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out. By a few inches, that'll be a first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, 34 yards. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Falcons now. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Sanu with a grab over the middle. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Ryan now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Ryan. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. For the upcoming Super Bowl, so many storylines, but one that obviously grabs you. Sean McVay just turned 33 January 24th. Youngest coach ever to take a team to the Super Bowl. Double that age for Bill Belichick, who's 66. And, Charles, that's the largest gap between coaches in Super Bowl history.
Yeah, and when you think about it, obviously the age comes into play. But to me, it's more the experience. The number of times that the Patriots have gone to the Super Bowl with Belichick leading them versus Sean McVay's first time in the Super Bowl leading the Rams. Will that game experience come into play at all? But I do like this about Sean McVay. Raised in the game, raised up through the NFL system, no matter how young he might be. Remember, his grandfather was a head coach and a GM in the league. He gets it. He understands. I highly expect the moment to be just fine for him and not too big.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. So they took a shot there on 3rd down. Couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. And here now come the Falcons. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Tevin Coleman, 85 yards. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
21. Hey.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
The Falcons on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. And now another one thrown incomplete. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to get him again. The 3rd time he sacked him here tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now they try the right side here. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 11 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
It looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. The Falcons on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Takk McKinley in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. The tackle made there by Takk McKinley. 2 yards on the 1st down carry and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Well, that'll get them the 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Ryan now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and the Falcons grab it. and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. On second down, here's Ryan. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. Hard throw, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Let's go. Ready. 21.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to launch this thing way down. It got his man complete. A big gain of 39 on 3rd.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Ready, set. At 25.
Now the pitch to Freeman. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Now Ryan on second down. He's going to air one out. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Get out! 12!
Looking to throw on second down. Ryan. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. The Falcons on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw. And it's complete. Hooper. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. First down now, but that clock rolling.
21! Wait! Hey, express! Go!
He'll look to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That one goes for 36 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Buying time to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
21!
And they'll go on the ground. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
22! Check 3. 25.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So getting the big touchdown they needed late in the 4th. Now what do? You conservative and just tie it up?
No, I think you put your practice into game situation. Go as fast as possible. You already have your play call ready to go. Go for 2 and decide it right now.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These 2 teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield. Before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
At this stage, you've got to hustle. Got to get back to the line of scrimmage because you're saving that timeout to make sure you have a chance to get your kicker out there for the big shot.
And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. And they will take a knee and set up what would be a potential game-winning field goal try. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And if you're thinking field goal from here, it's 48 yards. I think they'd like to get him a little help now on 3rd down to move it closer. And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. So it's all up to the other Matty Ice. Matt Bryant now. 2 for 2 tonight. This will be for the win. And his kick is indeed good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So out come the Falcons now. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'll be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even the
Somebody call for the queen.
I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the volume, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me, Pacific ice, I'm an ocean, ready for war like I'm Russian, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly, they calling for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, I My shawty pulling up with a real bad, bad. You too. Dripping my swag. About tag on. I got it in the bag, man. Getting all type of cash. I'm a general true. I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skip the school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a six by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture.
You got a picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I send a new Bay alert, gon' be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose to. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never did anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skip the school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a six by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a picture. Jumping in the bed with two dark teeth, man. Who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, bad. You too. Dripping my swag. About tag on. I got it in the bag, man. Getting all type of cash. I'm a general true. Out, valet, walk out, all these bins I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. Yo. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, no, I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really have no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Ooh, right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. Yo, I'm too up, round blew up, copped that new rape on them haters, threw up, brother went to jail for them, told me you up, first time I seen 100 bands, yeah I grew up. Oh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to boof up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, I'm with right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, Need crew up right now, cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now.
Track how G go too fast. I don't need wear no seatbelt. Bad look, got no upgrade. Now she got. How about the range on? Who is the baby? He going in. Man, these old rappers getting boring. They be taking shots, I ignore them. Send them to the hood while I'm touring. Making plays out of town like I'm Jordan. Need to go get your. Walk on my way, I'ma score it. Lamborghini, I don't want no Porsches. I'm on fire, don't touch me, I'm torching. Had the fish on my teeth, I went porcelain. Put the time on my back, I'm a horseman. One more year, I'ma make it a Forbes. They load me in the bay like he 40. I be sitting inside of the Moreland. Ain't no screens attached, keeping it cordless. She keep calling, but I keep ignoring it. Ain't no stopping, I'm keeping it for it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go.
I spent the whole M on some clothes. Got a bonus, I sold out the show. Gonna like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that white on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Still ain't got time with you. All of these, my body, I got pissed. Somebody keep checking my pose. Walk in the club with no warning, take care of the money. They swing on the. Water on me like the sunny. I shine when it's sunny. This platinum and rose. Gonna out the street when I go to DC. I'ma see the mo.
Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go.
Crazy different city with some different. I can switch my the same way that I change my clothes. Man, it's crazy. I'm envelope. And you know I'm never lacking. Gotta do it, that's up in traffic. Water on my paddock. In automatic. I drink water when I'm fasting. Use a ass, girl, me and I can't have it. Boy, I'm from average. Better wait your turn, better get it long.
Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another. I'm like, baby, I know I'm wrong, but this just how life goes. And I know these be happy if I let you go. Got me walking on a thin line on my tippy toes. Crazy different city with some different. Here we go. Every time I gone, I get another. Tryna leave me long, another.
Tryna spend the whole M on some clothes. Got a bonus, I sold out the show. Gonna like a pot on the stove. Yellow AP on all of my. I like when that white on the toes. Picture me riding around in that rose. I put some ice on my wrist, it was swole. Still ain't got time with you.
Okay, you ready? Look. Go. Look at you go. Okay, you bumming. Look. Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booger bugging me. Just see the bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even me that I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse deep and irate, and we act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the brand on me, bet on my bacon. Big it flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like $1 million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke away longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, in the limit. Yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides I can shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, the machine. Ferragamo stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matte back, liquor clean. Dead president and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures dinner, penny hoe.
Rub your empty pockets. I don't do that. You might press me. You do what I tell you. Get over here. Who's gonna get this?
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Meet them a bite, now lacing no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, I'm driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it, the mad. And in them baggins, I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around. Just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a. Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out. She don't give a. She was in her bag, Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger, watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation, we was on roll like tires. What we gon' that? I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, my. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm Love Flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gon' run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one in the all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, Flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. never let them touch. Fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up. All in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6. Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid. She ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snigger bait. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. Y'all in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
I done seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
When you got dumb cake up in the say, they be waiting for you in the bushes with the duct tape. Up and down the interstate, yeah, we really touch. We touch. October, I'm about to another state. He went down in Arizona, don't get me involved. An empty box in the car means they coming for all. I had six phones, I got rid of them all. We get hit and sit down, we don't talk to the law. Yeah, they think I'm tripping, they listen. They know our every move, yeah, they want us all in prison. That's why I can't sleep at night until they get in. I'm on another mission, I'm just young and I'm living.